friends, and welcome back to this week's Self-Love Masterclass. For those of you that are new here, my name is Renee Love. I'm the CEO and founder of Modern Day Wise Women, which is an online self-love coaching practice and private school. And here at this channel, or wherever you're watching this video, we talk about all things self-love, energy medicine, and holistic health. In this week's class, I want to talk to you about how to bring yourself from being disempowered to being fully empowered. And I think this is such an appropriate video right now, given everything that we have been going through at the time that this video is airing, and to help us prepare ourselves for what's to come in years ahead. It's so important that we know how to get ourselves out of a funk, that we know and that we have the tools to help us to move forward quickly. Because if there's anything that we've really learned over the last couple of months, it's being adaptable is important. Being able to change and switch direction is crucial. And knowing how to pivot, not just literally, but mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, is key. Before we dive into the content, I just want to let you know that a lot of people find value or get more value from these videos when they take notes. So I definitely recommend that you grab your smartphone or some pen and paper and prepare yourself to take some really, really great notes. Also, if you are new here and you didn't know that Self-Love Masterclass is a series, definitely go and look down in the description box below or check right here, because I will link the playlist so that you can watch the other videos in the series, which I'm sure you'll find helpful as well. All right, without further ado, let's just dive right into this video. The first thing that you want to do when you find yourself in a funk is you need to stop. Like literally stop what you are doing. Stop right there. Like wherever you are, if you're in the car, if you are in the bathroom, if you are in the garden, if you are having a moment at the dinner table and you notice that you are just feeling completely overwhelmed, you're shutting down, you are starting to think and act in a way that is not congruent with the way that you have created yourself to be, you really need to stop. Stopping is going to interrupt the loop. It's going to interrupt the circuitry or whatever it is that has you not being in your higher self, but actually being in your reptilian brain or more of your ego-like self. You really want to create an interruption. I know for me, when I get that feeling, I literally will just stop. And sometimes I do this trick where I will actually, like, let's say it's first thing in the morning, I will actually get back into bed. I will like reverse engineer everything, and I will like go back and start the day over with a whole new intention. A lot of the time, the reason why I'm in that funk is because I didn't ground myself the way I needed to, or because I sort of like slacked off or have been slacking off on doing some of the routines that help me to stay grounded and help me to manage things that are difficult emotionally. You literally just want to stop everything. Take a breath. There's a client that I love to work with that shares with me that one of the things that she likes to do is count to 10. This counting to 10 thing that she does is something that helps to ground her, but it's something that I think is valuable not only when you're feeling upset or when you're feeling angry and you're trying not to like explode or erupt. It's something that's actually valuable when you are trying to be self-loving to yourself, when you are trying to give yourself a little bit of extra TLC, and when you are really trying to come back into your body and into your higher centers. Just stop. Because if you don't stop, chances are you are going to say and do things that are completely out of alignment, and it's just going to lead to more overwhelm, more chaos, more negative energy, and more negative thinking. Just give yourself permission to stop. The second thing that I think is really important in this process is to really then ask yourself, what am I really upset about? See, a lot of the time we think we're upset for one thing, but in fact we're actually upset about something else. For example, you say that you're really upset about all of the work that you have to do, but really and truly the thing that you're upset about is that you got into a fight with your husband or your partner, or the fact that, something awful has happened in your family, or the fact that you're really scared and nervous about something that you're waiting to hear back from the doctor, or you're just feeling really frustrated with your kids, or you're feeling guilty that you yelled at them, or something like that. A lot of the time, there's a lot more going on beneath the surface than we think or know. And even more so, what I've found working with clients is sometimes we feel like, that thing, it's not really affecting me as much as it could be, or people say it is. But in fact, it actually is. It's just, again, not at the surface. So there you are, going about your day, kind of feeling a little bit crummy, or noticing that you're kind of a little bit more impatient, or you're just feeling more anxious and overwhelmed. You think that it's about work and all of the deadlines that you have, but in fact, it's because there's something much deeper going on. Maybe it's not even the work. Maybe it's the job. Maybe it's the fact that you want to leave the job. You don't want to do that job anymore. And so the more you have to work, or the more you feel deadlines piling on, the more it drives up the fact that what you really want is just to quit. I could go on and share all different kinds of examples, but definitely this is something that I know is true for me. A lot of the times there's things beneath the surface, and when I am working with clients one-to-one all the time, it's like, we go into the session, we're talking about things at the beginning, and then before we know it, we're talking about something way deeper. And even in fact, it can be something way, way far back in the past, something that's connected to childhood. Believe me, a lot of the time we think we've done a lot of work, or we think we're over certain things, and truly we're not. It's important to figure out exactly what's going on and what's really bothering us. The third thing that you need to look at then is, okay, well, now that I know kind of what's really upsetting me or what's bothering me, what am I going to do about it? So it's about creating a plan here. Is it something that I can handle immediately? Is it something that I need to handle later? And do I know how to handle it and have the appropriate tools, resources, and support to be able to do so? What I found working with hundreds and hundreds of people over the years is that you can get to steps 1 and 2, but where you get really stuck is here on this step number 3, which is, what do I do now? It could be that whatever's going on is something that's reoccurring. It's a reoccurring pattern. For example, if you're not happy with the way you look and the way you feel, and you lack a ton of confidence, that's something that's going to continue to resurface. It's something that if you don't get a handle of, it means that anytime you're under pressure, you're going to have that insecurity pop up. You're going to feel more irritated, more aggravated when you're put on the spot than most other people who maybe have a little bit more confidence or feel a little bit more grounded than you do. Something like this, if you've been working on it for quite some time and you're not making the kind of headway that you need to make, it may be valuable for you to consider doing some additional self-love work with a trained individual, someone that's a coach like myself or a therapist, okay? Where we can actually get deep in there and give you some very specific tools and techniques that are custom fit to exactly the way your mind works and the things that you say to yourself, that negative self-talk. That is an example there. Now, if you do know exactly what you need to do, like for example, it's something that's been taking you off with, something your parents say to you, or something, a sibling says to you, or something that your spouse says to you, and you're like, you know what? I have been allowing this and allowing this and allowing this. And what is really bothering me is I actually need to speak up. I actually need to say something. I actually need to put my foot down. You know exactly what you need to do. You might be a little bit scared or a little bit tentative, but you know it's exactly what is necessary and what needs to be done. And so in this step, it's, when am I going to do it? When am I actually going to sit down and have this conversation? When am I going to do it so that I'm not continuing to put it off and it's continuing to bother me and creep into my mind and my spirit and my soul and affect everything else that I'm doing in my day? I don't want to feel upset and angry and frustrated and impatient and unfocused because of this thing that's happening over here. I need to deal with it, and I need to deal with it now. Now as in tonight when I get home, tomorrow when he gets home, this weekend when I see them, whatever it is, you want to have that plan. So I'm sure the fourth step here doesn't come as any surprise or shock to you. It is do it. just do it. You know, like the whole like Nike slogan, like just do it. So this is about follow through. And again, this is something that can be really difficult if you are not somebody that is used to following through on these things, and maybe you're not working with somebody that's holding you accountable to ensure that you are following through. But you absolutely need to follow through, because if you do not follow through, as I mentioned before, this thing is just going to continue to crop up and crop up and pop up and pop up, and it's going to be like this monkey on your back constantly as you are trying to excel and perform and have breakthroughs and manifest things. It's constantly there holding you back, constantly there getting in your way. It's constantly a conversation that keeps coming up, and instead of you spending your precious time and energy moving forward, you are constantly dealing with the past. Follow through is key. Follow through is important. The worst case scenario will also help you maybe to move forward. So one of the things I like to do with clients one-on-one is we run through the worst case scenario. This helps to, you know, sort of calm any fear, any anxiety, any like serious worry that maybe following through or doing this thing is the wrong decision. In most cases, what you will find is that when you work out what the worst case scenario is, the thing that you are most afraid of happening, one, that it's very unlikely to happen, and two, even if it does happen, guess what? It's still worth it, because at least you're free. I want to give you a little bit of a bonus tip, and I'm putting this at the end, but honestly, I feel like it could go at the beginning. The bonus tip is about getting clear about what you're committed to. In other words, are you really committed to getting out of this funk? Are you really committed to getting out of this energy? Like, it's so important that you be clear about what you're committed to, because my friends, sometimes we're really not committed to getting out of the funk. Sometimes what we actually need, and what's more powerful, depending on who you are, depending on the situation, and depending on what you're upset about, is to just sit with that pain, is to just give yourself the space and the permission to actually process and acknowledge what you are going through, and not to rush anything. Because you know what? If you do, it's spiritual bypassing. And again, if you don't know how to tell the difference between when you are spiritually bypassing and when you are powerfully making a decision to move forward, that is something that you can really work on with someone like myself that's a coach or a therapist or a healer, someone that is trained to be able to see and know the nuances and the difference between those things. Sometimes you just need to sit there. Sometimes you need to allow. Sometimes what you actually need is for someone to just hold space for you. But equally, you must be clear about what you are committed to, because if you are committed to healing, if you are committed to moving forward, it will then help you to see what direction you need to take and maybe what kind of support you need to reach out for. It will help you to be clear about what energy you are coming from, and when you are coming from an energy that is completely out of alignment and not serving you. Sometimes when you know that you are committed to getting out of this funk, it means that you let go of some of the childish, egoic things that we do naturally, that are not bad things, but the things that we do just because sometimes that's the only way we know how to process things, because it's the way we did it when we were kids, and it's the way that we have always done it until we learn new tools. Be really clear. Do you want to get out of this funk? Or do you just want to kind of not do the work, not do what you need to do to get out of it? And maybe you just want to wallow for a little bit, because maybe that's just what's authentic. When you do get to the point where you are clear that you want to get out of the funk, you will then be emotionally ready to do whatever you need to do to get out of it. And a video like this, a class like this, is exactly what you need. Friends, it has been forever since I did a self-love masterclass, and I have missed you all tremendously. I have been doing what I need to do to take care of my mental health and my physical well-being, and to really get myself on track. I, just like you, have been going through it in my own way. You know, I'm human too, and that's why I love connecting with these videos, because I'm not just this teacher that's like somewhere up here or somewhere on some pedestal. I am literally just like you. I may be a few steps ahead because I've been doing this work for longer and I've been doing the research for decades, but I know exactly what it is like to go through difficult times. I know exactly what it's like to go through a funk. I know exactly what it's like to feel stuck. I know, I really do. So I just want to take the moment right now to acknowledge you for being somebody that continues to put yourself in the game, that continues to put yourself in the driver's seat, that continues to try and apply and put effort forward when I know it's not easy. That tells me a lot about what you are committed to, and I hope it tells you a lot about what you're committed to too. We are going to have many more videos like this. Also, y'all, I am figuring out how to get the, equipment ready and all of that so that I can do YouTube lives with you all, and there's just so much more coming. We're at almost 10,000 subscribers here, which means very soon I'm going to be able to do YouTube stories, and I just thank you for your energy and your time, and I look forward to being with you again next. Don't you forget, of course, that until we see each other next time, we truly are in this together.